Okay, everyone, welcome back to From Football to Football. Today I am joined by Emilio Cornago, former professional footballer, coach, promotion specialist, and someone whose football journey has taken him from Argentina to Spain, the United States, Malta, and Cyprus. Emilio became the foreign player, with the most appearances in Melita FC history before moving into coaching, where he achieved back-to-back promotions as a head coach and built a career across multiple countries and football cultures. Emilio, so good to have you on, mate.
No, thank you, Mike, to having me. I'm very, very happy and very pleased that you invite me to be part of the podcast.
Mate, the pleasure's all mine, and we've been chatting off camera, and this is going to be a great one, everyone. So, hold on to your seats, and here we go. Emilio, we're going to start at the beginning, right back at the beginning. When did football first become more than just a game for you?
Well, obviously, I came from Argentina, and in Argentina, when you, as soon you born, and you start working and you start thinking, you have a ball, in your house. So football always was part of my life since I was a child, and then you start playing, with your friends first, then you move to a club, and then like you start enjoying and love it, and then you think maybe I can do something with football, So when I was around my youth, 15 years old, I have a twin brother, and they used to do in my town. I from a small town in Argentina. They used to do tryouts for clubs of first division, and was a club that was used to go to do trial in my town. The team is Rosario Central. So we were like choose for them. Obviously, they invite us to be part of the club, to live in Rosario. That was like at that time like 4 hours from my house. So at that time I decided, no, I want to stay at home, but my brother went and played there 2-3 years, and I had always that like kind of regret why I didn't go,
Yeah.
So then a few years after, when I was 18 years old, the opportunity to go or try to play football in Spain come out. So I say, okay, this time I have to give a chance. So more or less it's like that. It's like football start become part of my life, part of my shop. I think that was the beginning.
Wow, good answer, mate. Yeah, it sounds like that first decision that you regretted a little bit of not staying there at Rosario Central, which is a big club. I mean, we all know who Rosario Central is. It's a big club in Argentina. And yeah, it sort of spurred you or pushed you to then make that next step in Spain, like try and give it your best, right? And
Yes,
make the
yes.
best of it. And Argentina, man, I just have to say quickly, after speaking to lots and lots of coaches, I didn't actually know this, but I'm starting to feel that Argentina is probably the most passionate country about football in the world. I'm going to put it out there. I know a lot of people, that's a controversial statement, but I'm speaking to a lot of people, and it just seems to be more like another level in Argentina than everywhere else. Yeah. But anyway, now I want to say you left Argentina, okay, man,
Yes.
to pursue opportunities abroad. So as we were speaking about with the Spain thing, so how difficult was that decision, and what did you learn from taking that risk?
How to say? I always say when I discuss with my friends, probably if I knew it, all the sacrifice you have to do, how you will feel being abroad, because obviously it's not abroad like was now that you get a phone and you can call, you can make a video call. At that time, no mobile. 2002 was different world, so was like a big shock because I was very comfortable at my town. Was hard, but for me, I think helped me to. I'm not saying a good person because obviously someone else have to say, but to improve as a person, to see the world in a different way, to try to realize how difficult is life, how important is to try to be, how to say, honest, fair with the people. Obviously, I did a lot of mistake in that journey that obviously today as well make me the person I'm today. But even though with all the bad moment I went through, when you miss your family, your friends, etc. If I have to do it again, I will do it, because for me it was a precious experience and made me the person I'm today.
Mate, what a great answer. Dude, I understand that completely. I moved to Spain still in the time before, like it was a while ago now, when I was younger, and we didn't have that video call technology that we have nowadays, just like you, man. And the same as you, man, you go through a lot of tough times, but I feel like you definitely grow as a person. You become more open-minded. You have just a different mentality, a different
Yes,
perspective of the
definitely.
world.
Yeah.
For sure, man. And when the opportunity to go to Malta, so this is a big one, appeared, you knew very little about the country, right? Malta, hey, you've got an
Yes,
offer
yes,
from
yes, yes, yes,
Malta.
yes. Because
So,
was
yeah,
because I was in Spain like around straight 7 years, playing in different towns, different areas of Spain. Then I have a short spell in Cyprus, in Nicosia, and then I come back to Spain. And when you come back, and I went to a club, I wasn't feeling well, and obviously we were late pay because the club owners like to the all the staff, all the players, sorry, like 3 months. So I wasn't in a good mood, let's say. And I have a friend of mine that was playing actually in Malta, and was December. That December is a winter transfer window in football. So he told me, listen, you don't have nothing to lose. Come, we speak with some people here, and we see if we can arrange something. So I spoke with this club. I said, listen, give me the release. You are not paying me on time. I need to find something else. I was like this. I went to Malta, to my friend's house, and we speak with sort of an agent there, and he took me to Melita, and I was training there 2 weeks, and they told me, listen, we would like that you join us to the club. And like start my history in Malta.
mate, this is so good. And you just mentioned Melita. We are going to talk more about this club because I know this is a special a club for you. It's very close to your heart. Before that, I just want to comment that this late payment thing, especially, obviously in the top leagues, they get paid. But just under that, the late payments seem to be a very common theme in a lot of places. And unfortunately, it's terrible, isn't it? But what were your first impressions, mate, when you went to Malta? So not knowing the country, you've gone there, you've talked about football, but the country in itself, the people, the lifestyle, like, were you shocked by it? How were your first impressions?
No, because they are very European country. There is a lot of tourists, so for me it was I saw it very friendly. It's a nice place, surrounded by sea and anywhere.
Yeah.
Good weather. So it was like I feel welcome, and especially once again I went to this club where the people make me feel welcome, So it's not like, okay, you are about observation to see what you do. No, it was like open arms, welcome. You are part of one of us straight away. So like this is make you life easier, because obviously we, especially myself, I play always in lower leagues. Most of the time the people, like, especially run the clubs now, it's changed a bit, but doesn't have that human touch that you need. It's like we pay you, so you have to delivery. Doesn't matter if you have a problem, doesn't matter if you sleep well, doesn't matter if any reason. Here I felt totally different, It's like I felt like they receive me with joy, and I say, we are here to help you. Then you will help us, So what's different?
That is beautiful. That is so good. And like, you're right. You're 100% right. I think sometimes in football clubs, especially like you said, like at the lower levels, when there's a bit of a, I don't know, maybe a superiority complex with some clubs and some presidents, they think they're, higher than they are perhaps, but they forget that players are people first, and football is second. They're people. You have to deal with them as people first. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
and plus, as you say, the president, obviously, you go clubs mostly they have invest people that invest money in the clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
So for them, the logic is, I'm not saying all of them, but
No, no, no.
most that I experience is, I put money plus I have to win. And football is not like this. Life is not like this. Because you play with against another people that as well prepare themselves. Maybe they are better than you. So it's not about just to put money, as you say. For me, and now it's more clear that you need the human factor. If not, it's very difficult to get the best of anyone.
Yeah, mate, you're so right. Emilio, like, so right. Well said, man. And you're speaking to me at the moment. I just want to say, your English is fantastic, man. You're using expressions that are just like C1 top level expressions, okay? So speaking about English, man, you've spoken openly in the past about arriving in Malta without really speaking English, right? And how difficult was that process? Because now it's great, but how difficult was it at the beginning? Trying to speak in English, trying to learn the language, and now how important has English become in your career since then?
Was very It's very important, and as well, since I was a child in my home they sent me to several courses to learn English, and I gave that importance, to no, so when I arrived to Malta I was with the basic, but obviously one thing is to you can read a sentence, but one thing is to understand when someone tell it to you, and another thing as well how to answer. And even though I was in the United States several times, but was difficult. And the way I start learning is, first of all, because your teammates start make fun of you and they
Yeah,
correct you. That
of course.
it's perfect because you start learning and you listen a lot and you don't talk too much. You don't talk almost, because you listen. And as well, then it's like, okay, and in an instance I said, okay, I need to learn. And then I start watching my favorite, how to say in English, no movie, how to say, sitcom?
Series? Oh,
Yes, a
yeah.
series,
Yeah.
Friends.
Oh,
So first I
that's
start
my wife's too.
watching, in English with the Spanish subtitles. Then English subtitles, and then I say, okay, English straight away, no subtitles, nothing. So I love that the series, and listen, the expression, or it's like I learn, and then as well when I start going to, especially coaching with the young boys, 8, 10 years old, as well, they speak so clear, and they teach you, no coach, don't, it's not like this, it's like that. So like this you are learning.
Mate, you're right. You've just hit the nail on the head with two of those things, man. Number one, when my wife listens to this episode, she's going to be very happy you said Friends. She's Spanish, and she learnt English, like, basically thanks to Friends as well, this series. Like, it's a fantastic, anybody listening, watch Friends. Is a great one to learn English too. The other one was the young players, man. When I started working here in a club as a coach, assistant coach in a village in Sevilla, I was working in a kids team, and the kids, they don't have a filter. And when you don't pronounce well, you don't say a good word, like older people, adults, out of respect, they don't correct you. The kids will always correct you, right? So
Yes.
you learn very quickly.
Exactly. Yes, yes, yes,
It's
yes.
a great one. It's a great one, man. I love that. So you've experienced football in Argentina, Spain, the United States, Malta, Cyprus. Now, apart from Malta, which of those countries surprised you the most, and why?
Uh, Look, now I can tell you because I was in Cyprus as a player, and now I return as a coach. I think
Yeah.
they grow a lot in any sense, in the structure, in the potential. That was very not surprised, but when you are there and you see they improve a lot from when I was playing there, and as well it's a because obviously they are country and country, but even they are a small country like Cyprus and Malta, they have a lot of passion for the game, and they love the football. The people follow the games. The people are, they like to be involved, and go to the stadium when they play in another town, especially in Cyprus. So Cyprus, I think they improve quite a lot.
This is a great one. Okay, everybody, I'm going to make a prediction here. With your, I don't know if you'll back me up here, but Cyprus for the next World Cup, maybe, man, because like in this World Cup, we're seeing like Cabo Verde, we've got Congo, we've got Uzbekistan, like these teams that just, where did they come from? I didn't even think they were good at football,
Yes,
And now Cyprus, maybe.
I think, but the I know I'm not saying the problem, but obviously Cyprus play with the European teams, so
God,
it will
yeah.
be
Good
harder
point.
for them to.
Good point.
Yes. That I think that will be the problem.
Damn it. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I didn't even think about
But as
that.
well as you say, I think with the new format that personally I don't like a lot.
Yeah, I know.
The small, or let's say the weaker teams, they have more chance to reach a World Cup.
100%. And man, I would love to know this, and I think everybody listening, this is a really good question. What do people get completely wrong about working abroad in football? What is something that a misconception, maybe, a common misconception?
But you mean in a good way or in a bad way?
Oh, no. I mean, like, it could be a good way, but no, more than a bad way. Like, I mean, like, maybe they think it's like the reality is very different from what they think will happen.
Okay, yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
perfect clear. And
Yeah,
what that come
yeah.
to my mind is,
Go
for
for it.
example, especially let's say Argentina, Spain, that they are big country with big culture about football. There's a lot of, and I live it with some former teammates that they, for example, they go to Malta or they go to Cyprus and they say, I will be the best. I will be a hero.
Exactly.
And football is no easy because you change the country, you change like the way to behave. It's totally it's another football, so it's not that easy. You have to, because that is what the misconception that people say. No, I will go here because it's a small country and I will play, and it's not like that because the local players are good, and they're stronger. They have a lot of power, let's say. They know how to move around, how to deal with the committees of the clubs, how to deal with the fans. So it's not easy, and especially the foreigner have a lot of pressure when you are playing in this kind of country, and deal with this pressure sometimes it's not easy,
Mate, I love that. That is so true. That is so true. I had this experience, man, a few years ago. I went back to Australia because I'd been living in Spain, playing football here in Spain, and I'm like, I'm going to go back to Australia, and I'm going to be like Messi, in Australia. But it shocked me. It shocked me how good like the level is now in Australia, and I was like, I'm not as good as I thought I was going to be, it's so true, man. Now, after retiring as a player, we've talked about this before, like obviously you're a coach now, you've moved into coaching. What was the biggest challenge for you in making that transition from player to coach?
I think the biggest challenge until today is that what I say match with what I do. That for me is the biggest challenge, and till today I'm trying my best to not let it down anyone, in the sense that if I tell you something, even if you don't like it or you like it, I will do it. It's not like I will tell you, Mike, I don't know, blue, and tomorrow I come and say, no, Mike is red. So
Yeah.
for me, that is a big challenge, and it's so difficult because obviously I was a player as well, and you know that all the time you okay, you listen what the coaches say, but most important, you are watching what he does, you know. So
Yeah, man.
for me, that is a
Oh.
big challenge.
Well said, mate. Actions speak louder than words, 100%. And being a man of your word is just, it's so important. To trust, respect, everything comes from that. So great answer, great answer. Taking Zabar, if I said this correctly, is
Yeah.
that how we say it? Thank
Yes,
God.
yes, yes.
Okay, Zabar from the third division, man, this is a great story, to the Maltese Premier League, dude, in just 2 seasons. That's insane. That is like I haven't heard anything like that. So, what do you think made that success possible?
Um, Obviously, first of all, I will say in anything you need good players, but you need obviously good players that they are mature enough and intelligent enough, and as well have, in my case, I was a coach and a staff that is amazing. First of all, amazing pros, and then amazing person like I have mentioned three. I have Andres Quiroga, Ivan Rivera, Fato Daya. So those because if no, you don't have a chance, you know. So it's a mix of everything. But for me, that is a key. That is a key. Have amazing players, and then work with people that push, push, make you better every day, you know, and be amazing person as well for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love that. These people around you, it sounds like they keep you accountable as well. They really push you to continue to keep pushing yourself to other levels. That's awesome, mate. And as a head coach, okay, what have you learned about leadership that you did not understand when you were a player?
This is a good one. I'm trying to, is related with an answer I gave you before. For me, I'm very worried about to not disappoint anyone, but not in the sense that they like me. Don't take me wrong. In the sense that, listen, this guy is what he said. This guy is what he does. He respect what he does. He respect what he say, and he gave. I would like that the player say he gave us everything he has in his hands to make us better and to try to lead us to win in this case. But obviously, I learn as well, or I'm in the way to learn how to deal with different people, different personalities. Sometimes try to learn when you need to maybe put the hands in here and when try to be a bit tough, you know. So that is an art that obviously the great ones has, but now I'm in that way to try to discover and improve. First of all, knowing myself, and then try
Yeah.
to transfer to the players. But it's constantly learning, and you have to watch a lot and listen a lot. Listen a lot, not to talk too much. Try to listen to what the player have to say, what your staff have to say, and I think more or less it's like this. What I think.
Wow, good answer, mate. And this is very a common theme, like something that you're telling me here is what a lot of coaches have told me as well. It's almost like when you're a player, you don't realize that when you become a coach, you also become a psychologist and a father to all these players, right? Like
Yes,
it's like you just suddenly have to think about all these people and all these mindsets and talk to them. When you're a player, you worry about yourself. You know, you can be very selfish, but this is so true, mate. A
I
great
have
answer.
sorry. I have one of my mentors used to say you have to think and help everyone, but no one think and help you. You know, so it's difficult.
Yes, That's so good, man. You're right. You have to help and think about everyone, but don't expect anyone to help you, right? This is so
Kind
true.
of,
This is
yes.
so true. Yeah, and I was doing some, obviously, my research on you, Emilio, before this interview, and I saw an interview where you mentioned, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that after promotion, you and the club president had, let's just say, different visions, okay? And you eventually went your separate ways. Is this true? Is this correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. So from this experience, what did it teach you about not only leadership, I guess, but also football politics, the back, like what happens behind the scenes? Did this change your mindset or your attitude towards, football at all, this experience?
No, no, I think it make me better. I learned from that experience. First of all, obviously we have different vision on how to do things. But at the same time, I always say he was the person that he gave me the first opportunity to be a head coach. I'm very
Yeah.
grateful for that. But obviously, I don't take personally that kind of thing because it's normal. Even between us, if we start talking about anything, probably we have different views, and it's not a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, of course.
But at that moment, I think obviously when you are, especially when you are trying to get promoted, there are some tension. It's normal because obviously you have to take a lot of decision, and sometimes it's not the decision maybe the club expect, or they don't understand why you do it, because obviously you are in there every day in the club with the players. And for me, what I said before, I have to put my face in front of the player every single day. So if
Yeah.
they see that what I say is not myself, it's come from
Yeah.
something else, or the decision I made is not from me, I lose the dressing room, and
Yeah.
I lose my
Your
leadership. Let's
authority
say,
as well. Yeah.
you
Your
know.
leadership, your authority, everything, right? Yeah. You're now just a puppet, really. You're not
Yes,
really the person.
there is a
Yeah.
lot of, so for me that is a key, and it's something that I don't want to lose. I prefer that people say you are a bad coach, no problem, but at least the players say no, he stand with his with what he think.
Yeah.
Obviously, then I say we have different vision, and it's not a problem at all. We finish in a good term, and even sometimes when I got a new experience, we send message to each other,
Yeah.
So I
That's
think it's
great.
part of
That's
any
great.
any shop. It's part of the life, and move on.
Mate, if you have to part ways, that's a really nice way to do it. Like just respecting each other's decisions and still having this relationship where you can talk to each other is great,
Yes,
man.
because sorry, Mike, to
Yeah,
interrupt,
yeah.
but it's
No,
like
please.
when I choose a player over other. It's not like I don't like you, or no. It's today I choose this. It's no problem.
Mate, that's a very mature mindset, and all coaches need to have that. So that was a really good answer. Thank you, man. Interrupt any time with things like that because that's gold, man. I love it. And we have an expression in English, okay? And this will make sense when I explain it, guys. Just hear me out. The expression is never meet your heroes. Now, basically, what we're saying there is when you meet your hero, the hero normally disappoints you. They're not a nice person. They're not the person you thought they were going to be. Why am I saying this? Because Emilio has worked with, one of my heroes, probably one of his, Mauro Camoranesi, who was a legend at Juventus, and he had the honor of working with him. But Emilio, actually, how was Mauro Camoranesi? Was he like you expected? Like, let us know. What was the experience like?
Yes, first of all, it was a big surprise for me because at the beginning of the season 2025 2026, I was working here in Spain, and as I was mentioned before, even though we were leading the league, the club sacked me. So it was in November 2025, and then in January 2026, I got a call. That was the opportunity to work with Mauro. I didn't know him, and we make a video call. and we start, talking about the opportunity to work in Cyprus with him, the way to work, etc., etc. For me, was a bit, intimidated at first because was no easy World Cup winner, with Italy, Juventus, first elite. But then when he accepted me as a assistant coach and we moved to Cyprus, knowing him daily basis was amazing surprise because I met a humble person, very positive, very ready always to help everyone, and very a person with his feet on the earth, so I don't know how to say it. For me it was very positive, and obviously I enjoy a lot to work with him and I learn a lot. So for me it was 10 out of 10 if I have to say the experience.
Mate, I'm so happy to hear that. That like restores my faith in humanity because I've heard, horror stories, but this one is just so nice. So Mauro Camoranesi, very good guy. Okay, everybody, if you meet him, shake his hand on the street. Good guy. Now, I want to ask you, if a young player or a coach is listening to this right now and dreams of building an international football career like you've had, what advice would you give them?
To be curious, to always ready to give his best at any time, because you never know when the opportunity comes and you never know who's watching, So always, if he's decided to do this job or any job, give his best. And all the time be learning, do something to make you better as a coach, as a person, and because the opportunity don't say, okay, take 1 year and then I will call you. Maybe we'll call you tomorrow, and you have to be always prepared, but more important, be ready, because you can be prepared but you are not ready. So I think that is, especially in our job, that you never know when someone calls you. You have to be prepared and ready.
That is a really good line. I haven't heard that before, but I'm going to use that now. You can be prepared, but not ready. It's true. You can be completely prepared, but you're not actually ready for this split-second moment, which can change everything, so you have to be ready to. I love that. And what you just said is it's again, I have to highlight this because it's such a common thing I hear from all these coaches. Be curious, right? Constantly learning, constantly evolving, never thinking that you know everything, sitting down and just saying, I know enough. No, you're constantly learning. I love that. Before we finish, Emilio, every guest now nominates another Spanish-speaking coach who has worked internationally or used English in football environments. Who would you like to nominate to come onto this podcast next?
Yeah, I have a lot, but like this is a podcast of football coaches.
Exactly,
I will mention the person that I think helped. For me, I'm coach because of him. I always say it. I would like to mention Andrea Pisano. He's an Italian former player, coach. That for me was very important, especially at the beginning when I was starting in my journey, and he was very humble to let me be close to when he was working as well in Malta, be close to him, be part of the behind clothes, with how he work, how he do with the players. So for me, it was an amazing help, an amazing person, but a mentor for me. So I will say Andrea Pisano.
Wow, mate, after speaking to you today, Emilio, I would love to meet the person that mentored you, because the way you were speaking, your attitude, your knowledge is amazing. So this guy must be something special. Andrea Pisano, I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to contact him. Let's get him on the show. Emilio, before we go, is there anything else that I haven't asked you or that you would like to mention to the people listening before we sign off today?
No, I don't know, really. Yep. I really enjoyed to talk to you. And honestly, I didn't realize the time, and we could keep talking hours and hours. It was very enjoyable for me.
Oh, 100%. And guys, even before we started this podcast, we were just talking. I'm like, oh my God, I have to record this because it's so easy to talk to you, Emilio. So, Emilio, this has been a fantastic conversation. I think one of the biggest lessons from your story is just that football isn't only about like trophies, promotions, results, which you've had, like you've had all these things, but it's about like relationships, adaptation, finding where you belong, like what you found with Malita, yeah, and continuing to grow through every experience, continuing to evolve, just as you talked about a moment ago. So thank you so much for coming on, Emilio. It was a fantastic episode. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, and I wish you all the best. And at any time, you can count with me. No problem.
Mate, 100%. I would love to see one of your teams play live one of these days. And for everyone listening, don't forget to subscribe, share the episode, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.